So a reflex condenser, it will be used if the temperature is volatilized or it evaporates too quickly. In that particular situation, the reflex condenser, it is attached to the vessel, and the solvent, it will be condensed and recovered and returned to the container. So it is a good way to recover the menstruum, because the menstruum or the solvents, they are expensive, and the amount of the menstruum, if it is for example, if it is getting wasted, then it will be a loss, obviously, because the menstruums or the solvents, they are very expensive. So if the menstruum, it has a low boiling point and it gets volatilized very easily, so reflex condenser, it should be used to prevent the or recover the menstruum. This process is applicable to thermostatic, and it is known as the accelerated maceration, and it is not applicable to volatile menstruum. For example, gums and raisins. Maceration, it is but before maceration, we would say what are organized drugs and unorganized drugs. Organized drugs, they are built up of natural cells and tissues, and mark is pressed. For example, roots, leaves, these are the organized drugs. Unorganized, these are they do not have any definite shape, and for example, gums, raisins, gum raisins, and oleo gum raisins, and mark is not pressed in this case. Maceration is a word which is derived from a Latin word macerate, which means to soak, and this process, it is used for the production of different preparations like tinctures, extracts, and concentration in concentrated infusions. It is the simplest method of extraction of fruit drugs, and it is official in Indian pharmacopoeia since 1966. So what happens? The particle size of the drug, it should be coarse or moderately coarse, but not fine. The drug or the fruit drug, it should be broken down into smaller pieces, but it should not be grinded into a very fine powder. The drug menstruum ratio should be 1:10, and a closed vessel is recommended to prevent the loss of the menstruum. So, principle of maceration is it involves the separation of medicinally active portions of the crude drugs, and how it is based on the immersion of the crude drugs in a large quantity of solvent or menstruum, which is put in a closed vessel for 7 to 14 days, and in those 7 to 14 days, occasional stirring is or shaking is done, and this vessel would be placed at room temperature. The liquid is strained and marked pressed or not, depending upon the drug. Well, there are different types of maceration. For example, simple maceration, modified maceration, and multiple maceration. So, what happens basically in what is the basic principle of maceration? The drug is broken down into smaller pieces. The drug is placed in a vessel having a lid over it, and then the bulk of the menstruum is added. For example, the menstruum is added in say 5 liters, 6 liters, or 7 liters. The drug will be soaked in that vessel, and that vessel should be covered with the lid, and it is placed aside at room temperature for 7 to 14 days. But during these days, you can come and shake this vessel or the drug contained in the vessel, and then what happens after that? The liquid is strained and the mark pressed or not. It depends on the drug whether the mark would be pressed or not. It depends on drug. Simple maceration, it is a process for the tinctures which are made from the organized drugs like roots, stems, and leaves. And apparatus consists of a wide mouth bottle with a stopper. And what is the method of simple maceration? The drug is cut down into small pieces, and then it is placed in a closed vessel for 7 days. Menstruum is also added in it, and occasional shaking is done during these 7 days. After 7 days, the liquid is strained, the mark is pressed, and the pressed liquid is mixed with the strained liquid, and then it is filtered to make a clear liquid, and final volume is not adjusted. Examples are tincture of orange, for example, prepared from sweet orange peel, outer end of the fresh ripe fruit, and it is used as a flavoring agent. A tincture of lemon. It builds up the body immune system, wards off infection. It decreases the cholesterol levels and cleanses the liver. And it is also used for the ear infections. Tincture of skrill. It is used as a heart tonic, lung disease, bronchitis, asthma, whooping cough, and edema. Edema means retention of fluids, and whooping cough is a cough in which there is a deep cough, and after that, a deep intake of the breath, which produces a sound which is called a whoop, and due to that, it is called whooping cough. Modified maceration, it is a process which is also used for the tinctures, and it is for the unorganized drugs like plums and raisins. And the product is a wide mouth bottle with a stopper, and method is the drug is placed with 4 by 5th of the menstruum in a closed vessel for a period of 2 to 7 days, and occasionally it is shaken. After 7 days, the liquid is filtered and the final volume is made up by the remaining menstruum. The mark is not pressed. Examples are tincture of tulu, compound tincture of benzoin, and tincture of male. What is tincture of tulu? It is used for cough, catarrhal disease, which means that buildup of the mucus. So it helps in removing the buildup of the mucus, and it is also used for the as an adjunct to the expectorant compounds. A compound tincture of benzoin, it is used on skin under adhesive bandage. It protects skin from allergy to adhesive and makes the bandage adhere for a very long time. Then we have multiple maceration. It is used to achieve the maximum extraction of active constituents from the drug. In the drugs, they have a very high percentage of the active constituents or active substance or biologically active substance. This process is carried out just like the like simple maceration, but the only difference is this: the menstruum is divided into three parts. 2 parts and 3 parts. In 2 parts for the double maceration, and in 3 parts for the triple maceration. So double maceration process, the drug is macerated twice by the menstruum, which is divided into two equal parts, and the volume of the menstruum, it will be same for the each maceration. So volume of the menstruum required for the first maceration is equal to the total volume of the menstruum, and volume to be retained by the drug is volume to be retained by the drug minus 2 plus volume of menstruum required for the second maceration is equal to total volume of menstruum, and volume of menstruum used in first maceration. The quantity required for the two macerations are calculated like in this way.